Talk.
Welcome back to the Be Positive Music Show. It's your host here, B+. Hope you guys enjoyed that second quarter set. And I literally just kicked my camera, so I'm not even gonna change it. Well, I'm not gonna edit this out. That's what I'm not gonna do. We're gonna keep this live. And yes, welcome back. This is the Be Positive Music Show right here on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM channel 140. Hope you guys enjoyed that second quarter set. That was just dedicated to this March Madness season. All those songs remind me of something that was my first love in life, which was to hoop. And you're going to hear a little bit more about that as we get into our halftime pep talk. So again, that first song was entitled Coach.
Jesus like the coach and quarterback, he called a play, I called a huddle. Clothed in righteousness, you see the drip, so watch the puddle. Holy Spirit in me told me watch out for the trouble. Keep my baby girl so happy she don't have to make a bone. They say the bone, they say the bone, they say the bone.
That was by No Big Deal, and we're actually going to have to circle back to that song probably in the coming weeks, just because as far back as I can remember, I've always in my mind referenced my relationship with the Lord as a coach and a player, and I filter almost everything in my life through that kind of lens. So thought that song was really dope, really spoke to just like how really just how I walk through my spiritual walk with the Lord. So that was the first song. The next song was Who Gonna Stop Us Now. That was by Derek Minor, featuring Greg James, Tony Tillman, Cannon, and Byron Jawan. So very, very dope song. You can almost hear that song in a stadium at a sporting event. And then the last and final song that I played of the second quarter set was Layup. And that was by Magic and Bird, also known as Andy Mineo, in Words Played. So with that being said, it is time to talk about my favorite basketball coach. And I'm hesitating just because this is tough, because he passed away last week at the age of 56, and that's Coach Mark Mitchell. And it was just really a tough week for me last week. I'm actually gonna, for my people who are watching this, they're gonna see a picture of my coach here now. So yeah, it's really a tough time to process it as well, just because when I heard the news last week, my wife was out of town, so I really didn't have anybody to really bounce it off of. But just going through and reading the different wonderful things that people have to say about him. He coached at Taft High School, won a state championship there. He went on to coach at the Ohio State women's basketball program for about 8 years. He then left there and was coaching at Wilberforce there in Ohio. And just hearing all the different people just pouring in, coaches, players, just everybody just kind of pouring in their comments about Coach Mitch. And man, for me, he was my favorite coach, and obviously all these outlets are picking up like all the success he had, and he had a lot of success with me and my team way back in 98, 99. He actually coached my freshman basketball team, and I remember walking into the gym the first time and seeing him, and I was just like, this big guy's gonna be our coach. Like, he looks more like a football coach. And I remember saying that, but then I was seeing him shooting from like the other side of the half court line, like regular jump shots. And I was just like, man, this dude is strong. And so he just made an impression immediately. But he was just the most tough and the most loving coach at the same time. I was just reading the obituary by online, and it referenced his family, his wife Cheryl, and then he has 2 sets of twins, Kevin and Cameron, Chelsea and Kelsey. And I'm laughing just because it referenced them as the Rough and Ready crew, and it says that he didn't go anywhere without them. And I can tell you that that's the truth, because at the majority, if not all, of my freshman basketball practices, like the late 90s, they were there. And he went on to be my JV coach as well. And Coach Mitch was so special to me just because outside of my father, he was the first person to really believe that you can go Division I. I remember, it's funny that we're in the March Madness season. I remember my father used to always bring home a bracket. and he would have us all fill it out. And I remember telling my father, like, man, I want to play for one of these teams. And my dad looked at me like, you're going to have to be really good to play for one of these teams. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to be really good then, because I want to play for one of these teams. So fast forward like a year or so, meeting Coach Mitch. I'm now on the JV team. So this is my sophomore year. And I mean, I'm thin now. Back then I was scrawny. I was a tiny dude. So we were in the weight room and getting ready, strength conditioning, and there was an upperclassman who didn't think the best of me. I felt like he was kind of threatened by me because I was young, but I was good. He was a senior, and he was just on me because I mean the bar was like 45 pounds, and I can barely lift that. Like I was really weak. So what happened was he was just ragging me and talking down to me, and people were in there and they were laughing and stuff. And I finally mustered up enough energy to look at that upperclassman and say, I bet I go D1 though. I bet I go D1. And everybody just kind of stopped because I was soft-spoken, didn't really say a whole lot. And like, everybody just kind of stopped like, oh, wow. Like, I can't believe you said that. So I believe Coach, I don't know if Coach heard about it or Coach was in there. So for a season, not a season, but for like a few months, Coach Mitch called me D1. He gave me a lot of nicknames. His other nickname he gave me was B-Love, just because he was just like, man, he's like you're a sweet kid. You're a nice kid. And he was like, I get nervous for kids like you because people do tend to push you around. So Coach, he was the coach that reminded me that being a nice kid or not, you have to have some dog in you. And he really pushed me hard to have that. And I think it's something that I carried throughout my basketball career. And he told me, he was like, you don't have to work hard, but you can be Division I. We had another point guard that kind of fit the mold that I fit, that I was modeling my game after, Pierre Wooten. He went to Winthrop, and he was just like, he was like, you can play D1. So I worked my tail off, and I made it. I played at Wofford College. He was so proud of me when I made that decision. And it just goes to show you that like a coach can make a lasting impression on you. Just like reading all the different tweets and Instagram posts about Coach Mitch, that he went on to do that for 20 more years. For 20 more years, like my time playing under Coach Mitch lasted from like my entire high school career, from freshman to senior, because he was assistant on our varsity team that lost in the state championship, and I still haven't watched the game tape yet. We lost to Columbus Brookhaven. But yeah, so that time ended in 2002, but he went on for 20 plus more years, just serving the basketball community. So what can I say about Coach Mitch, man? He was a hard coach. He was a tough coach, and nobody was going to outwork his teams. He conditioned us just like his kids, the Rough and Ready crew. Like we were an extension of that, and nobody was gonna outlast us on the court. They might beat us, but we were gonna be hustling to the end. So salute to the family, the Mitchells. My love and my prayers and support are with you guys. And this next song is dedicated to you guys. The name of the song is These Tears, and man, I just pray that this song blesses you, just because your father was a heck of a man and made a lasting impression on so many people. But me in particular, he's a large reason why I accomplished a lot of basketball dreams that I had. So with that being said, this is Swoop. The name of the song is These Tears. This is the Be Positive Music Show, and we will be right back.
Don't give me easy answers when the questions is hard. Like if it's gonna be alright, why I'm left in the dark. Is death a blessing or not? Will certain lessons ever get learned if loved ones never slept in the side? Grief ain't like Netflix at all. Can't choose your seasons or when to exit the plot. Pressure's a lot.
These tears, they taste